Hey.
Hey.
You looked like you wanted to say something, so I was letting you say something.
That was my I'm about to say something face.
It was. That's why I paused. I recognized you're about to say something face, and I was giving you an opportunity to do so. And then you squandered it by just repeating me, you moron.
Well, now I have something to say. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Hey.
We got a fantastic episode here. We're going to talk a little NBA, little juggernauts of the league. Not juggernauts of the league, but more specifically two teams, the Spurs and the Thunder. And Connor had an interesting thought about what one of those teams might need to maybe get over the hump. But we're going to have contrasting takes here, which is fun because we agree a lot.
Yeah.
For a sports podcast, we do agree a lot.
Yeah, which I think it's good that we don't just like force ourselves to That's the problem with a lot of sports media, is that a lot of people just force themselves to be Skip and Shannon and go back and forth and argue all the time just for the sake of arguing, which like isn't real sports discussion. That's just like, that's just like argument corn for a better. I'm not going to say the real word because I think you get demonetized if you say stuff like that in the first.
We make a lot of money off of this, so
and I just
can't have that.
Because of all the fucking money we make.
Yeah, I mean, look, I did like 15 episodes of Player's Choice, so I know what it's like to be in a space where people are like, let's just argue. Like, if there's no conflicting takes here, this is a bad show.
See, I just disagree. I think it's fine to just like.
Me too.
I think it's fine to just dissect things and analyze and like have a.
Wow, I was presented with new information. Maybe I'll change my mind.
Yeah, it's almost like this country needs more of that in general. Slim Dookie. It's sort of almost like sports parallels real life in a lot of ways, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. We got some chats just fresh off the bat. Thickum says, "Hair looking fresh, goat."
Thank you, brother.
Could not agree more.
Thank you. I just got it cut up today.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
I don't like to show this side. This is my bad side. I really do have a good side in the bad. This is my bad. Like, look at this.
I don't think that's your bad side, dude.
Look at this profile. No, it's so bad. Look at this.
I think you look very handsome.
It's bad. This side's way cooler. There's a nose ring over here. There's the hair sort of covers the awful balding that's happening, the terrible receding hairline that's forming.
It's balding, but I wouldn't call it awful. I would call it distinguished. Okay. I would call it manly. Ever seen a woman go bald? Pretty manly. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you trying to make the most of that. Fart Dream Girl, what up? I love that someone could be listening right now, and I just interrupted you just to say Fart Dream Girl, what up? They have no idea that I'm talking to our live stream chat. Gooch, also live stream chatter, paused Impractical Jokers for this. Let's go.
This isn't the first time this has happened. And I'm going to assume that Gooch loves Impractical Jokers, but he loves us a little bit more.
It's funny to think that maybe Gooch actually hates Impractical Jokers and he keeps turning it on just to be like, God, I hope someone does something else I can pause this for. I hate this show.
I hope something interrupts this
I hope something else
I've set
comes
aside.
Up. Yeah. I keep setting all this side time for Impractical Jokers. I don't even like it. But yeah, hey, we're going to talk a little bit of Spurs, a little OKC, a little Giannis, a little around the league per usual. In the NBA. Did you already tell them about the NFL talk we're going to be having?
I did not.
Wow. Guys, boy, are you in for a treat. We've got some NFL discussion along the lines of who has overachieved and who has underachieved this year. Maybe a little MVP talk.
Yeah, a little requiem for the season.
Sure. Yeah. Nick loves to throw in words like requiem and what did you say earlier? What did you say earlier today before the pod started?
Duplicitous.
Nick said the word duplicitous today. It makes me want to hit him. If I'm being completely honest with you,
it
makes me.
I read as a kid. All right,
it makes me violent towards you.
Sue me.
I mean, I read as a kid too, but I also I did that thing where in school we had the. Did you guys have like a thing where you had to like read a certain amount of pages in elementary school?
We had you had to read a certain amount of books. And then you had to take a test online to prove that you read the book.
Yeah.
The AR system,
I would read Diary of a Wimpy Kid every single time. A new Diary of a Wimpy Kid was big news for me when I was 10. Because I read a lot of them too. Yeah. I mean, they were also, by the way,
Great books. Jeff Kinney, Greg Kinney, was that his name?
Yeah. Greg. Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
thanks, Greg.
So yeah, I did read. I just read, pretty low level shit. I'd like to think I have a pretty decent vocab. I think I have a decent vocabulary. I understand what you're saying. I just don't throw around the words like you. You're better about using them in like the context of a conversation. I'm worse about that,
Yeah, I like to apply knowledge. It's a big part of who I am.
Can we get someone in the chat said, can we get Angels baseball talk? And I'll keep it a stack with you.
No.
Yeah. there's just zero chance. Unless something like really interesting happens and like the Angels are involved. Because I'm an Angels fan, but like they're just so bad. There's nothing to really talk about. And we're not even really big baseball guys. We were talking about this last pod. I think we want to touch on a little more hockey and a little more soccer. But
especially as we get away from football. Yeah.
Yeah, as football season comes to an end, I think we'll weave some more hockey and soccer into the fold. I just don't know that I see us ever really hitting baseball super hard. The only thing that was a good pun. That was unintentional. That was good.
Yeah, I don't see us hitting any home runs in baseball talk anytime soon.
Hey, come on. What do you guys come here for? If not for this. But I will. Maybe like in the playoffs. Maybe if things like get real exciting. Like if we were doing this, I think we started this pod right after or like right at the end of this baseball
the World
season.
Series.
So
yeah.
Well, I'll talk a little World Series.
Yeah, when it gets interesting, we'll talk about it. Come on,
dabble.
Come on.
Or if there's like big baseball news, like when Shohei's translator and him were in like trouble, like they were in trouble.
That was a fun time.
The scandal. Yeah, that would have been interesting. We probably would have talked about
Shohei had the ultimate alibi to that is just like the clueless foreign guy who doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Just like,
which is so funny because he does speak English.
Yeah, he does. Now I know it's a lot better, but I would not be surprised if it suddenly regressed as soon as all that stuff happened. They're like, Shohei, any comment? He's just, no English. No, I don't understand.
Yeah. So. You made a good decision just then I want to highlight is you didn't fully do the voice. And I think that's...
Should I do it?
No, I don't think you should. Oh, come on, man. I was giving you credit for not doing it. I was trying to point out. Going, wow, look at this.
I'm designated go there guy. If there's a go there guy on the pod, I am designated go there guy. And I did not do an accent. I simply made a noise.
No, you did, which is fine. I think what you did. Oh. That's fine. You're allowed to do that a little. That's as far as you're allowed to go with it. Anything past that on camera is not good. You did it. You did make a good choice when you did Shohei. You didn't fully do. You just did sort of a different voice than what you have.
Credit to me.
Yeah. Credit.
I was clear.
Credit where credit is due. Speaking of credit where credit is due, you like that one? You like that segue?
That was good.
And we could really go anywhere on that. To be honest with you. A&M losing to Miami.
So CFP talk, baby.
Yeah, a little CFP talk. Let's get into a little CFP talk to start the show here. If you're gonna do it all the way. Sorry, someone in the chat said if you're gonna do it all the way, and then someone else said show got canceled just as it's
if we get a single gifted sub, I will do the version of that I wanted to do that I didn't do. I will. I'm going to. If anyone donates any sort of money whatsoever, Connor, there are two times to do this in a sports pod show. It's before you have like sponsorships or like any sort of brand deals, or like when you're so incredibly nuclear that
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that it doesn't matter. And so we are in a moment, but I don't want to.
Here's the thing: is it won't matter. Oh, fucking god damn it! Thickums did it. We had it. Someone gifted us up right as he said it.
I'm a man of my word, Connor.
For 5 gifted, can we get an accent for the full pod? Could you imagine? If we did a full hour and a half, 2-hour pod doing just the most?
I have to do it.
It's okay. I can't stop you. Here's what I'll say. What's going to happen is we're going to have like 5 years of work on this pod. We're going to finally make it. We're going to finally make it happen. And someone's going to fucking pull up this clip and then
I'll cut it. I'll cut it from the Spotify episode.
Okay.
I'll bleep it out. All right, you ready?
You'll scrub it from the. You'll scrub this. All right. I can't stop you. Shohei, what are your thoughts on the gambling scandal?
Hey everyone, it's your boy Slim Dookie from The Long and the Short. I just wanted to let you know that this part of the podcast did get cut for the Spotify and YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever episode. I'm just here to tell you that it was indeed very funny. It was worth it, and it was actually just not that bad. If you're thinking it was really bad, it just wasn't that bad. So just don't even think about it too much. If you're a potential brand or sponsor, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like even close to what Shane Gillis did. But either way, let's get back to the episode. All right. Anyways, CFP.
Scrub that. No one's allowed to talk about that.
Let me mark it. Okay, actually, it's not going to show up in Premiere anyways. No, we'll mark it because we'll make a clip out of it too.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and he's gonna have this clipped and posted as a short form. He's gonna post this on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways,
that's great.
Anywhere.
All right.
Sorry, Gooch said 2-hour live stream cut to a 20-minute Spotify upload just because the whole thing is just in the accent. Anyways,
we just do the whole
I wanted to talk about the CFP.
Yeah.
I want to give a little context. I live in Alabama. Surprising that I did a racist accent living in Alabama. Yeah, it's like least surprising news ever, like Joel Embiid having a knee injury after we talked about it on the pod.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but SEC talk, and especially nothing but Group of Five doesn't deserve to be in, which looking at what happened, JMU got smoked by Oregon. Tulane got smoked by Ole Miss. JMU covered. That's a conversation for another time because great teams cover. But I think what's funny to me is what goes by the wayside is that A&M would have been like the 2 or the 3 seed. I could have seen them being the 2 seed. Indiana beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. If A&M beats Texas, which it was a close game, if they beat them in the SEC championship, they're probably the 2 seed. They just lost to Miami 10-3. And I've heard nothing other than the fact that the ACC is horrible. It's been a down year for them. Even like Big 12 isn't real. They have some standout teams like Tech gets in. That's it.
Yeah.
And the SEC is king. This is such a big year for the SEC. The SEC's almost champ. And the champion isn't even in. But the team that was far and away considered, like this is about to be the SEC champion, and I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say they were considered to be the best team in the ACC or in the SEC because I don't know if people think that. I think it's Georgia probably is what everyone would think, but
yeah,
they lost. They scored 3 points in a playoff game, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, whatever. It just no one talks about it. It's like, there's a political mainstream news metaphor there somewhere. But it's like no one's okay. It happened, and it's like everyone just chooses to ignore it because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just pisses me off. I think like we need to look at that as like, oh yeah, maybe the SEC isn't all it was cracked up to be this year, and I think that has happened a few times since the introduction of the college football playoff. Ohio State, a 4 seed that a lot of people were saying didn't belong in there when they had Cardale Jones, comes in and wins the national championship.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
I think there's I was going to say, I think like as someone who's a fan of a non-SEC school, right? Like I'm a USC fan, right? And it does feel like it feels like there's this sort of like elitist complex with SEC fans and schools.
1,000%.
And look, it's not like I get it, like I'm sure people feel the same way about, like, me as a Lakers fan. I'm sure people feel the same way about, LA fans have such an elitist complex. Like, I'm sure there's a version of that exists for I'm not saying anything about people who are fans of SEC football teams. It's not that I have a problem with you rooting for them. It just is, there is a feeling of like, well, if you're not in the SEC, you just don't really matter that much. And I think we're seeing now with the introduction of not only the college football playoffs here, like you were talking about, but like also with the NIL deals and with schools being able to be above the table about who they're paying, it does feel a little bit like man, was the SEC just getting away with bribery and like doing illegal things to make their teams better, and that was giving them an edge? I mean, I'm not saying that's a proven fact. I'm just saying there is something to be said about like NIL deals get introduced. There's sort of a swing in how things are done, or a change in how things are done, and all of a sudden the pendulum comes to the middle here, where it's like, well, it's not just like a couple SEC teams, or I should say a couple non-SEC teams maybe sneak in somewhere, but really college football is all about the SEC. Like, that's kind of what it used to feel like, right? It was like, yeah, it was like it's either you're Alabama or you're nobody, essentially, right? Is what, that's not exactly what I'm trying to say, but
no, but you're right. And living down here, that is how it feels. There are a lot of very realistic Alabama fans, because I've met a lot of unrealistic Alabama fans. I think you hear from them more online. But what doesn't exist is fans down here that aren't delusional about the fact that the SEC is the best conference in football every single year. Every single Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, maybe not as much as the new teams that joined in the past few years, but like those teams, those people, they're like, well, yeah, of course we're the best. Like we all, we all beat each other up every year. That's why, that's because the conference is so good. It's like, no, hey, losing to Arkansas doesn't mean you're still a top 25 team. Because if you lose to a bad team in another conference, you're out.
Right.
If you were number 11 and you lose to Georgia Tech in the ACC, maybe not Georgia Tech this year. Georgia Tech was pretty solid, but like you lost to Wake Forest. Have fun in the 30s to 40s, buddy.
Yeah,
it's the way it is. It's just simply not true. It's one of the.
Who's your favorite this year?
Probably go Georgia. I trust them more than I trust anyone else. Who do I want to win? Indiana.
Yeah.
I would love to see Indiana win. This is the first time I've ever rooted for a 1 seed in anything. Because they're still the underdog. To me, they're still the underdog.
Yeah.
It's like this is the losingest program in college football history. More losses than any other college football team that exists.
Really?
And they're the number 1 team in the country going in the playoff.
Holy cow. Wow.
And Mendoza, he's Phillip Rivers Jr. Gotta love it, man.
Yeah.
He says, what the flip? He says shoot and crap a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think Phil says flip.
That's your type of guy.
Hey, man,
Phil
is one of a
great. Huh? Oh, we're frozen. Hold on. I just realized something.
I'm not frozen. I was just not saying anything and not moving because I didn't want to respond to that.
Oh, no, your screen did freeze. I also just realized my Ethernet's not plugged into my Xbox.
Get her plugged up. Get her plugged up and
my Ethernet's plugged into my Xbox. It's not plugged into my computer. One sec. Let me plug that in.
Yeah, kind of keep it in the box, dude. Can't give up the box, but I'll keep going here a little bit. I wanted to discuss a little bit more about those group of 5 teams. I guess I wanted to double down on my stance and just say that, just because a team is a group of 5 doesn't mean that they don't belong. And I do think there is a need for a rule to be in place to guarantee that we get some of them in. And even if you keep it as a 12-team playoff, 2 spots, that means the top 10 teams outside of that are in. And it's a dumb idea. It's stupid. It's keeping 2 other good teams out until it's not. And I'm one of the people who thinks Notre Dame deserved to be in. I think that the LSU loss is bad. Other than that, they would have beat A&M at the beginning of the season if it weren't for a botched hold on an extra point. They're a good team. But at the end of the day, I don't think it should keep out JMU and Tulane just because they're in another conference. And were they good enough to win? No, probably not. If you put JMU up against Oklahoma or even A&M, I'll say this: I think JMU could have beat A&M.
Really?
Miami just beat them 10-3, and Miami was on the bubble. They barely made it. They were the last team in that wasn't a group of 5 school, and they beat the team that probably should have been a 2 or a 3 seed if they would have just taken care of business in the SEC championship.
Yeah, that's interesting. What's the fix here? What's the fix here? How do you get these teams the opportunity there?
I mean, I'm saying I like it the way it is, but what's probably going to happen is it's going to go to 16, and I'm fine with that too. Yeah. And I think the whole talk about it's a slippery slope. Where does it end? Where does it end? I think it ends there. And if it doesn't, whatever. At the end of the day, bowls they just don't mean as much anymore. People don't care. Like,
yeah,
and it sucks because I do like bowl games. I like bowl game season. I think it's fun. It's a nice, like, cap off to the season of like, well, we get one more game. This is our championship. We can hang our hat on like, we're going to win this game. But with the playoff system, and if it does go to 16, they just get even more meaningless. Like the best bowl games are going to be like the third and fourth best teams in Power 4 conferences playing against like other Group of 5 schools that were good, not great. But
yeah, I hear that. Speaking of good, not great.
Oh, baby.
I'm the segue king.
You're on a roll, dude.
I'm the king of segues. Good, not great. I do want to get into some Spurs OKC talk here. You made a video today talking about the Thunder have a Spurs problem, right? Like this is we've sort of figured out that the Thunder's Achilles heel is their size. Like that's kind of becoming apparent, right? As we like move through the season here, because the year started and people are starting to put this Oklahoma City Thunder team into some crazy conversations. Like we talked about the Golden State, the 2016 Warriors versus current Thunder. And I have been saying, I don't know that they belong in these conversations yet. Do you know what I mean? Like I just don't. It's good that they won a championship, and I think they're a really, really good team, but they're not like world beaters yet. Do you know what I mean? Like if I have to define that to make that point clear, to me, like a team that's a true world beater is you have to go to like multiple finals in a stretch and like win a couple to be considered. Like you have to be like a recurring 1 seed year in, year out for multiple years.
Yeah,
and win multiple
you're saying you're not
championships.
until you are, essentially.
Yeah. Like you have to like actually prove that you are. You can't just be like, well, they won one and they look really good and they're young and they have a ton of draft picks, so they're probably world beaters. It's like, not yet. You still have to go win those games. And like we're seeing that size is going to be a problem for them. Like a healthy Nuggets team is going to be an issue for this Thunder team.
Oh, they gave them their toughest, series in the playoffs. I mean, other than
Absolutely.
Indiana,
and they were banged up. Indiana, gave them a tough time.
Because they have size at different positions too.
Physical team with some size.
Siakam was a monster. Siakam probably would have been Finals MVP if they won it.
Bro, Obi Toppin was like having his way with the Thunder. Like people forget in those he was having his
Ben Mathurin too.
Yeah, like these guys, these players, like Indy got physical, and they were a little bit bigger, and like the Thunder were having a hard time dealing with it. Size. Someone in the chat says size is a problem for them. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
The only people on the planet size is a problem for. But I wanted to say, like, because I do think that they're very good. I think that they're juggernauts. They're the heavy favorite to win it all this year. But like it feels more like a rock, paper, scissors issue to me with the Spurs. Because it was a big problem for them the year that they lost to the Mavericks in the Western Conference semis, second round. Gafford, PJ Washington, and Lively like had their way with that front court. It was like, maybe we'll put in J. Will if Chet isn't getting it done on the glass, and then they go get Hartenstein, and that's the fix. And now it's like they seemingly have no issues. And there was one specific play that was just, to me, blew me away. Like, they have an issue, and this is going to be a problem down the road. I think it was Keldon Johnson jumped into Chet's chest, took the contact, and then laid it in. Because Chet, like, he's a great help side rim protector. He cannot stand. He's not Roy Hibbert. He's not going to stand in the middle, put his arms up, and have verticality, take contact. Sometimes he will, but more often than not, if a guy that's like much bigger than him puts their shoulder into his sternum, like he's going to crumble. But
he does not absorb contact well.
He doesn't. But now, and I kind of equated it to, this is the Thunder's long, lanky center that can do a lot of different things. He's versatile, but he's kind of the same player that Wemby is in a way. They do similar things for their teams. And I was like, if this is you have your skinny center and your sturdy center on your team. And it was easy to say that because both teams have that guy.
Yeah.
You have Wemby and you have Cornet. You have Chet and you have Hartenstein. So I'm like, this is what happens to Chet when he takes contact. A few, minutes later in the game, Wemby checks in and Hartenstein matches him. Wemby goes at Hartenstein, puts his shoulder into his chest. Hartenstein, essentially gets toppled over in the air.
Yeah.
Wemby keeps perfect balance. He misses the layup, touches maybe his two big toes on the ground, goes back up, and then dunks on more Thunder players. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. You can't do anything. Not a lot of teams can do anything about that, but other teams have had success, and everyone now plays him the same way. You put a forward on him, like a small forward, essentially, someone anywhere from 6'5" to 6'7", and then you're just heavy. You put the center on the least perimeter threat that you can, and then that guy just sits heavy in help. And I think the Suns have done a better job than anyone in that respect, just putting Jordan Goodwin on him. But the Thunder, it doesn't work for them because it's in their team DNA to be so heavy in help, to where whenever they do, Wemby is so good at taking the path of least resistance. He's just gonna okay, you want to go under a screen? I'll shoot. You want to play off of me? I'll shoot it. You want to crawl in? I'll go by you. By you, and then the second anyone steps in, I'm kicking it out. And all that swarming, all those small guards collapsing, it doesn't do anything because he's holding the ball 10 feet in the air.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
And he's also such a willing passer, and he sees the floor. So if the Spurs have the right team around him, they've got some shooters. I think they could use a little more shooting. I think that.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say the Spurs could use a little bit more shooting?
Yeah, probably. They probably could use a little more shooting. Yeah,
I'm gonna put that in the tickler file. I'm gonna pocket that for a later discussion.
Go ahead. No, and we'll get there. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. I'm fine. I'm fine with what I said, and I will have an answer for you because we know what's coming here. No, I think that there's a couple questions to be asked here. Who's a bigger threat to the league? The Oklahoma City Thunder with all these picks and all this talent, or literally just Victor Wembanyama? Like that truly is that's a testament to how good Wemby is that's a question we have to ask right now. Is Victor Wembanyama enough by himself essentially to be a bigger threat to the league? The other question is, as currently constructed, do the Spurs beat the Thunder in a 7-game series? And you look at this team, this team is well constructed. The Spurs team is good. They've got
their guard play is so good, man.
Their guard play is elite. And they've got, Dylan Harper looks great. He's going to be a very nuanced scorer. You can just see it. You can see it already in his game. He is going to be a very nuanced scorer.
Yeah. He's so good downhill.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say, and I think you're about to get here, but I think De'Aaron Fox might be having his best year ever.
I was literally just about to say that. De'Aaron Fox is having his best year ever. I think this is the best he's ever looked. Man, he's I think we're seeing a version of him. We're finally seeing him on a winning team and a good system, and I think he's maybe better than what a lot of people even thought he was.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Volume-wise, not his best year ever, but he's efficiency-wise, best year ever. He's shooting it better from three than he ever has. I think outside of his it was 23-24, he was scoring 26 a game, and he shot at 37 from three. He's shooting almost 39 right now. Shooting 47 from the field as a downhill guard that also takes a lot of mid-range jumpers too. Shooting 16 shots a game. When he was averaging 26, he was shooting 21 times a game. And he's averaging 21.6 right now. I don't know. I think he's very, very good. And I think Steph Castle is the perfect yin to his yang as far as guard play goes.
I couldn't be higher on Castle. That kid is, I am so high on him, man. He is so good. 6'5" combo guard with size, athleticism, plays defense, can shoot, great passer, good vision, can run a pick and roll. Like he's one of those guys where you're just like, you just love to have that guy on your team. It's, you know what I mean? Like there's some guys in the league that they're on your team and you just go, thank God this guy's with us. He just doesn't have a week. He's just good. He's good. Thank God he's on our team. He's one of those guys.
A lot of times what you see with these high lottery picks is they've just flown by on their athleticism for so long to where like you'll have guys in the NBA that genuinely cannot make a contested left-handed layup. Like they can't do it because they never needed to. And like, you know, in high school, I coached high school for a few years and our coach was like, I'm like, why are we not working more on like, you know, like blah, blah, blah doesn't use his left hand at all. Like and he's like, well, he's 6'4" and has a 38-inch vertical. He doesn't need to. I'm like,
he doesn't need
you're right. Actually, you're right. And it's eventually, if the kid is going to go to the NBA or even play Division I ball, it's probably a disservice to him. But Dylan Harper is the opposite. Like he finishes and everything around the rim. Like you can tell he has been classically trained and that has been drilled into his brain.
No,
like
I agree.
The opposite of Ace Bailey. Not that Ace Bailey's not very good too and very skilled.
No,
It's just I don't think he was he wasn't a big time athlete in the sense of like he's by the percentage of the rest of the world, big time athlete. NBA standards, he's not. Yeah.
Right. And I think it's testament to like as much as an old head take, there is something to be said about like players should learn fundamentals and like the boring version of you should learn the most boring version of basketball first.
It's wax on, wax off.
Every kid should learn boring old man basketball first. Like I'm being so serious.
That's what happens in Europe. That's why they're better.
Yeah. We have to stop this idea of like, get kids in here and just have them start like shooting threes and like shooting step backs and shit. Like we have to. It's bad for the game. It is.
If we get some young African American men and just ship them to Serbia or Spain and just put them in those pro development programs, like at the age of 10, they will be unstoppable. That's what Wemby is. I mean, I know he's a freak physically.
Yeah.
But
that's
the same thing.
His game is fundamentally sound. It's like why he's so good. Now he has like tools that nobody else has access to for sure. But like if you watch his game as like a basketball purist, his footwork is very good.
Yeah.
His footwork is his timing is good. His decision making is good. He pivots well. Like he has everything that you want out of like a fundamentally sound player. It's just that he has crazy tool set at his, or a crazy tool set at his disposal, I think is what I was trying to say there. But my thing is, as good as this Spurs team is, and this is what we've talked about, why wouldn't they go get Giannis right now? If Giannis and you really don't like this take, and I'm okay with that, and this is where we're going to disagree here. I look at this team and I go, look, they are good, but why don't you want to be great? Why wouldn't you want to be great and be great now? Now, obviously, it depends what they would have to give up for them. So I sent you a deal, like I did like one of those dumb like Fanspo, NBA trade calculator things or whatever. And I sent you a deal that was like Dylan Harper, 2 firsts, couple seconds, and like some big contract, some expiring, whatever. And it was for like Giannis, and I think Cole Anthony and like Thanasis, because you just have to put Thanasis.
Yeah, I think you had Taurean Prince in there too.
And Taurean Prince, thank you. Yes. And I think it was for they were giving up like Harrison Barnes, Harper.
I'll pull it up.
Sochan. Yeah. We can pull it up. I should have had it sent here so that it was like readily available. But Giannis and Wemby, there's Thickums in the chat right now. It says Giannis and Wemby on the same team would break the league more than OKC in all their picks. And it's interesting because Slim Dookie disagrees with that take. I'm on your side. And I think the idea here is why not go build Tim Duncan, David Robinson 2.0? It would be the modern Tim Duncan, David Robinson. They'd be the biggest duo in the league, and they would work. It would work. I really think their play styles would work. And And when I was texting you this, you can read off the trade. By the way, this is like my dumbass throwing a trade together with like matching contracts.
Don't talk about my friend like that. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I said 1. I don't have a 2.
I know. I was going to say I was waiting for you to follow that up with 2. But it wouldn't have to be like this exact thing. But I'm saying some version of like young players plus picks for Giannis. Now, there's a conversation to be had there that's like, well, do you even want to give up Dylan Harper? I get that. I understand the take there of being like, well, maybe not Harper being involved, but like the idea of Giannis to San Antonio, I think makes sense for San Antonio. So, I mean, you can read off the trade there, what I sent you.
You had the Bucks receiving Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper, and Jeremy Sohan, as well as a first-round pick in 26 from Atlanta, a second-round pick in 26 from Utah. I don't need to say who it's from. Another second-round pick in 26, first-round pick in 27, and a second-round pick in 28. And then you had the Spurs getting Giannis, Taurean Prince, Thanasis, and Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you kind of substituted their rotation guys and filled in minutes. The only guy that's not being filled in here is Keldon Johnson. Who plays like 22-ish minutes a game, I think. Harrison Barnes plays a lot. But here's essentially why, one, I don't think it's a good move because I do think they'd have to give up a very young player like Dylan Harper. And I think that's their most attractive young player and probably the one they'd be willing to part ways with most because Steph Castle is kind of a realized asset at this point, and Dylan Harper is he's a very good unrealized asset in a sense of like you still don't know what he's going to be. And Steph Castle has shown you a lot, and it's great, but you kind of know what he is. So I think just because you like the dynamic with Fox and Castle, you probably hold on to him if you do have to give something up. Mm-hmm. What I don't like here is, one, your team is 22-7, over 500 for the first time in 5 years, 6 years? Like the Spurs have been bad for a hot minute. Like they've been really bad. And at first glance of like, wow, we look good. You're going to, and I'm going to use the term, I'm not going to use the term blow it up, but you are essentially blowing up the team, not meaning that you've traded away all your good players and have decided to be bad, blowing it up in a sense of you're completely changing the DNA of this roster. Like you're trading multiple rotation pieces, bringing new guys in mid-season and being like, all right, now go play. Like one of my buddies I'll call him a higher up. Like if I have a question about something basketball business related, even X's and O's, whatever it is, he's on it. I trust him implicitly. And when we made that trade for AD last year, the Mavs, he was like, look, anytime players are traded mid-season, even if it's supposed to be a win now move, you're never going to see the full value of what it's going to be until a year later. Like it's just so hard to bring guys in and be like, now play together. So that's one take on that of like, you can't give up on this year. You need to ride this out and be 22-7. Be a really, really good team for at least a year before you decide, let's completely change this dynamic. But in terms of like an X's and O's mindset strategy standpoint, I don't like it because I think having a floor shrinker next to your generational 20-year-old like going to be the best player on your team for hopefully the next 15 years, putting another floor shrinker next to him when he's a big, even though he is a 3-level stretch guy, I don't think it's a good move. Like I think it can work, but now you've added another ball dominant piece, but a ball dominant piece who's a floor shrinker. So I guess you can be like, oh my gosh, Wemby, Giannis pick and roll. Okay, what are Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox? Are they just going to sit in the corner now? Like Dylan Harper probably wouldn't be there, but like these guys that like they play so well right now because everyone gets a lot of touches. And when Wemby's on the floor, it is like, hey, let's find him a mismatch. But sometimes it looks like the 7-second offense out there with the Spurs is like De'Aaron gets a step on a guy earlier, or Steph gets someone on his hip coming off a really early ball screen with Cornette, and there's like it's a bucket. But that's my thought process, and I'm not, trying to just shit on your idea, because
no,
I do see like a bit of that AD boogie in New Orleans. Like, yeah, maybe it could be something, but they didn't have a point guard,
Yeah.
Like, and it made sense. Like, okay, let's just go get a point center, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Well, so I have a couple like responses to a couple of your like, well, you're 22-7, you're already good. So my initial reaction to that is like, okay, well then what is the right type of team to go get Giannis? What record, what level of team, where would a team have to be at to constitute making it worth it for them to do a midseason blow up of some kind to get Giannis? So like we've talked about the Knicks being a good fit.
Yeah.
So to me, I go, well, but the Knicks are good. They're winning games. I don't know. I don't have their exact record off.
Was this the question you were trying to think of?
This is part of the question. Yeah, I have like sort of three questions, but this is the first part of the question.
So
yes,
I would say a team that is like, let's go get Giannis, is a team that has been to just below the peak of the mountain a few times. And be like, dang, we don't have enough here. A team that has been good for at least a year or two, and is like, yeah, this isn't working.
Okay.
But the Spurs are just so like, they're so new to being good. It's like, roll the dice, see what you got. Like,
yeah,
it's still,
I guess my thing
like, you're
is
22-7. You've been manhandling the consensus like favorite to win the championship.
Yeah.
It's like,
so do you think the current Spurs beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in a 7-game series right now?
I think they could, and I think that's saying a lot more than for a lot of other teams, because I don't think a lot of other teams could.
Yeah. I just think to me this is where I go, okay, so if the idea is like the level of team is a team who just can't get over the hump and they've already tried a couple times, the problem you run into there is you go, well, those teams have oftentimes already given up so many future assets. So what do they have to give for a guy like Giannis? So the Knicks, for instance, we've talked about this. The Knicks don't have a ton of picks. Now you could say, well, they can just combine OG or Bridges and Cat, and maybe you go do some combination of that, and it works.
In there,
sure. But do the Bucks want, like you said, like realized assets that haven't gotten a team past the?
Well, like if they trade Giannis, it's because they're trying to lose. If they trade him, they're like, we need to get something for him, and it's rebuild time. It's undeniable.
It's rebuild time, right? So that's where I go. Okay, so then you kind of have to. It's not. I'm not saying the Knicks are out of contention then, but I'm saying like sort of using the logic there that you're presenting me with for like why the Spurs may not be the right fit. I would adjust that and say like, well, that the Knicks then maybe aren't a great fit, and they've kind of been one of the front runners to go get Giannis. And you look at the league, and I go, well, who else then? Who else is the Magic? Are the Magic a good fit? Because like they've kind of struggled. They need someone to get over the hump. Does Giannis want to go play in Orlando? And this is sort of my like second question here. That's like a follow up to like who is the right team then? Like if 22-7 isn't the right record, what is the right record? Who is the right type of team? My follow up question to that is like, well, Giannis also has to want to go there. Like if I'm Giannis and I'm presented with, hey, we've gotten a call from Orlando and San Antonio, I'm picking San Antonio. I'm going to go play again. I'm going to go play alongside Wemby before I go play with like Paolo, or maybe Paolo's gone. I don't know what that looks like. I'm just saying like I would rather go to San Antonio. So if I'm, Wemby also has a say in this because it's like that's part of my thinking here with. Well, they're 22-7, and it looks like they're kind of beating up on the clear favorites right now. There's actually something here with the San Antonio team. If I'm Giannis, I'm like, yeah, I want to go win. I want to go win now. This team is ready to win. This team is ready to win right now.
Yeah,
they're a good team. I want to go play with them.
But the question that's still like is like, why would the Spurs do it? Like, why would the Spurs completely hemorrhage their future? Like, they still have a lot of picks. Like from what you showed on the trade, a lot of those picks that they were. Like that you would be trading to them, they're not from them, and they're like from Utah and New Orleans.
No, they've got some good picks. They've got some good picks, certainly.
Why would they do that? Why would they not just continue to draft guys that they're not going to have to pay?
Okay,
like for at least 3 or 4 years, and keep their young players. Let them like Steph Castle's only going to get better. Dylan Harper's only going to get better. You have some vets who are entering the twilight of their careers, but still like have a very cemented spot in any team's rotation. Like, why would you, that's like such a big gamble to me compared to just like, we don't even know what we are yet, because I can guarantee you that every team that's good and is coming out with essentially the same roster, maybe a few changes here and there. Like the Knicks are a great example. The Knicks have just come short and like made deep playoff runs, come up short past few years. You know, they add Jordan Clarkson to the roster. Great off the bench. Like has been honestly like probably the reason they won the NBA Cup. That's the difference this year is like you have a guy that when Brunson and Cat come out, Clarkson just has the greenest of green lights, the neon green light to just go get him up. And he does. He plays like 16 minutes a game and he scores 12 points. It's nuts. But a team like that is thinking, how do we beat the Thunder? They're not thinking, how do we have a really good regular season? They don't care. They're like, in order to like, it's cliche, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. So they're like, okay, we think we can get out of the East this year. Like, we don't have to worry about the Pacers. That's the team that beat us. The Celtics, you know, have been the big monster under the bed in the East, and they're not going to be like the same juggernaut they were. At least Boston's still very good. I mean, that's another thing. Jaylen Brown is having an incredible season. A lot of guys have stepped up for them. But they're like, okay, we feel comfortable with our roster to where we think we could get out of the East. But we know we're going to have to play the Thunder. Most likely. Like the Thunder or the Nuggets. So what are we missing? You know, we can't beat a team that lost to them. So like, what are we missing? That's the kinds of teams that are like, we know what we have. We've seen what we're capable of. Do we think that's the peak? If not, if we still think that we can be better, we can get better. If something changes, we add more pieces, like younger guys become more dynamic. That's one thing. But when your roster is filled up with 26, 29, 28 years old, it's like, these guys aren't getting better. They're not. If anything, they're probably going to be getting worse soon. So we need to make a move.
Right. I mean, I hear that. I go back to like these teams where they have these 28, 29-year-old guys and they've given up all these picks to get these guys and build these rosters. They're going to struggle to put together the best package for Giannis. And so it's still in my opinion, the fact still remains that it's like, it is still hard to go get a guy like we're talking about. We did our NBA tier list rankings, right, of like guys in the league. We're talking about a tier 1 guy in Giannis, superstar. I mean, you like this is not a nothing package. Like you really have to uproot for this. And so I want to ask another question, and this is kind of like this is a follow up to kind of what you had just talked about with like getting over the hump and like where teams are positioned and who's the right team. If we were in free agency right now and Giannis was a free agent and the Spurs had the cap to get him, would you make the argument for like, or would you say it was a good deal for them to go out and get Giannis? Like, let's say it was free agency and they have the cap. It's literally just yes or no for them. I'm not saying for you. I'm saying for them, it's yes or no. Like we either sign him or we don't. It's up to him and us. We can ink to paper right now. It works. He comes and joins our roster.
I would say, do it. I'd say, do it. I mean, so because all my arguments about like floor spacing and like, are they going to work together? Because I am very anti good player plus good player equal good team. It's like, no, that's not always the case. Totally. But like you said, he is generational. It's like, if you have the space to sign him, sure. Why not? But I don't want to give up.
There's some nuance to this question that is also like, if we were in the offseason, like I'm saying, hypothetically, you could maybe also go get the right pieces to fit around them or something, which is what they could use more shooting. I've said that, and I'll still agree with that as my case. But this leads to my third big question about this conundrum here about Giannis to the Spurs, which is so funny because this is just like a hypothetical that we've come up with. That
I do like it though. This has been good discussion.
Possible. But no, I agree. So here's my next thing is, who was the last big free agent signing where in the offseason a team went out, talked to a guy's agent, brought them in, and then signed them to a contract? Zero trade involved at all. Just simply had the cap to do it and then signed somebody. And I'm asking this, by the way, this is not a gotcha. I actually don't know the answer. I think it's Kevin Durant to the Nets in like 2019.
Yeah, Harden. Well, did they trade for Harden? And they signed Kyrie and KD, I think. I think they traded James Harden to the Nets.
Something like that. Yeah. And that was like, and then I think before the next one after that is like, maybe KD again in Golden State. Kawhi to the Clippers after winning a title in Toronto, also 2019.
Well, KD to Houston is still a pretty big signing too.
Yeah.
Because they signed him. They didn't.
Yeah.
No, they traded for him. They did. They did because that's how Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green.
Oh.
That's
yeah,
you're right. It was a sign and trade.
Yeah. So I'm at chat. Maybe you guys have someone that we're missing here, but the last I can think of is 2019, both Kawhi and KD. Thickums in chat said Marcus Smart. Hell yeah, brother. It's funny. I looked when I looked up this question.
I wish
we
could
have a great chat.
You know, if we were to have like thousands of people viewing this one day, I would just want them to just be clones of like Thickums and Gooch, and adjacent guys. I know we see Crazy Churro guy in here sometimes. We see there's a handful of others, but those are the two, right? The two guys that are always in here.
The two champions. That's who I would sign to my if I had free agents for this chat. That's who I would sign to my team, my roster.
Yeah, if I had millions in cap space, I would give it all to Thickums and Gooch.
So I'm looking at like 2022 notable free agent signings. A lot of them are extensions. It's like Jalen Brunson is getting extended, Zach LaVine re-signing with the Bulls, James Harden staying in Philly, Jokic extensions. Like it's a lot of extensions is what I'm seeing post 2020. So post COVID, we're talking about like the last like truly massive like Woj bomb, you know, because that's Woj was still around at the time. Woj bomb free agent signing. We're talking pre-COVID, I think. I don't know that I've seen a ton that are non-extension free agent signings from a different team. And maybe I'm missing something here.
I think that the reason it does happen that way is because when you stay with the team, you're eligible for the Supermax.
Well, and that's the thing is like, sure, we're talking like CBA and we can get into like the aprons and all this stuff. All this being said, yes.
I'll get into your apron. You're like, well, you can get into my apron later. You can do some digging around in there, some rummaging.
I'll put my CBA in your apron. just taking two terms and making them hypersexual for no reason. Incredible.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Wow. That's the most sexual CBA has ever been.
True.
In aprons. Well, aprons in general can be.
Yeah, I guess.
Nothing but an apron.
I don't think it's inherently. Well, yeah, but like when I think apron, I think like a grandma like cooking with an apron on. I don't think it's like inherently sexual an apron.
Well, I'm not I shouldn't inherently was bad word choice there.
I don't know that you even said inherently. I think I said inherently.
Maybe I'm an apron guy. All right.
It doesn't care. Yeah, maybe this is. Maybe we're finding out you've got an apron kink. I don't mean to kink shame you, man. If this is like what you're telling me here, that's okay. You're allowed to have that.
Very progressive of you to kink shame me for being into aprons.
It's not aprons not inherently sexual the way that when you hear like maid outfit, you automatically assume like a sort of promiscuous.
There's some sort of weird thing going on there.
Yeah, sure. Illinois. Sorry, another chat.
Yeah, this is actually big news. Breaking.
Yeah, go ahead. Illinois just beat Tennessee. Another Big Ten team beats an SEC team. Hashtag it just means more. Thickums has a vendetta against the SEC, and I love it. And I know exactly why.
Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Well, he's a USC fan. He's a USC fan.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just goes to show the juggernaut SEC. Man, they're all so good. They just beat up on each other. You just lost to Illinois, Chief.
Yeah. But I want to get back really quick to the NBA talking this because this is sort of my last question here. Is like who is the last big free agent signing? And the thing is, there's a couple things at play here. A, guys are staying with teams because that's where they get paid. So they'll stay with the franchise for longer because they can get the Supermaxes there. And B, teams are realizing that when your superstar wants to leave and he's inevitably going to be out, doesn't want to play with the team anymore, won't be re-signing with you, they're being traded. AD on the Pelicans is like the prime example of he didn't want to stay in New Orleans. They didn't want to pay him. Trade him the year before his contract is up. As a Lakers fan, obviously I was like, damn, why didn't we just wait until free agency to sign that guy? We could have kept all these pieces. But that's just sort of not the way the league works anymore. The league has gone to, if you want a guy, you can't really wait until free agency because someone is going to be willing to go all in and show the cards and go get the guy, right?
Yes.
So go ahead. You want to add some context to that or some nuance?
I'm honestly, I've been listening, but I've also been letting ChatGPT cook a little bit here. I did find one big free agent signing that did alter a franchise.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson.
Well, from where did they sign him from?
Dallas. He was a Maverick, dude. We drafted him.
Oh. Sorry. I was thinking of Jalen Brown for some reason. I was like, they extended him. What are you talking about? Yeah.
No.
Okay. What year was that?
2020. I believe. 2020.
Yeah.
It might have been 2020.
Yeah. Great. And by the way, great signing, great free agent pickup. He's absolutely proven. I agree with you, but again,
he wasn't. You're right. Actually, he wasn't a superstar before. He became he became
one.
You know.
And again, we're talking. This is in the last 3, 4, 5 years. I can't think of these notable guys outside of like one outlier, maybe where it wasn't a superstar that became one. So what I'm getting at, Brunson wasn't an All NBA player at the time, exactly. That was a chat from Thickums. So what I'm getting at here is if I'm the Spurs, if I am looking at the league right now and I'm going, hey, we're probably a couple seasons away from being the best team in the league. We've got a couple really good young players. We got a couple draft picks. We're going to probably draft a couple more good players. 5 years from now, maybe we'll be the best team in the league. Maybe it's not 5. Maybe it's 3 years from now. Maybe it's 2 years from now. That's all good and well. That's fine. I'm not saying that's the wrong way to go about a franchise. That is sort of what the Thunder did, and now they're the best team in the league. So I'm not saying that it can't work at all. What I am saying is, like, Giannis is for sale right now. He is available. He wants out of Milwaukee. I think they've made it pretty clear that's like what's going on right now. Now, maybe things turn around and he's like, look, fully healthy, we're actually a pretty good team, and I'll just stick it out here one more season, whatever, and I'll go hit free agency. I don't know what Giannis's idea is. Nobody knows. This is all speculation and hypotheticals. But what I'm saying is from a management standpoint, I would look at this as almost like free agency, and we have a chance to go get Giannis. And the way I see it is if we go get Giannis, we are the best team in the league. I do think the fit would work itself out. I think something we're also not noting, we've talked about maybe the spacing isn't perfect. Maybe the fit isn't perfect offensively. Something we haven't talked about yet is defensively. They
would be unreal, dude.
The Spurs would be impossible to score on. They would be impossible. Teams would average 90 points against them. They would be impossible to score on. So if I'm Spurs ownership, if I'm the Spurs GM and I'm looking at this right now, I suppose what I'm thinking here is like, look, we are good. We are 22-7. That doesn't mean we can't get better. That doesn't mean we can't get better.
But
our biggest
risk.
adversary,
there's risk involved.
But
you sound like Nico Harrison pre-trade.
Hold on. But there's risk involved in drafting players too. And one of the things you said was a positive was having future draft picks make this team better.
There's not risk involved in drafting players.
Yeah, there absolutely is. What are you talking about?
What's the risk?
That they don't pan out.
Okay, but there's no risk there. You have the picks regardless. Like if they don't pan out, you just cut them. If you trade for Giannis and it doesn't work out, you've mortgaged your future for this guy that now we're like, okay, I guess we're just kind of stuck for 5 years.
No, okay. So what I'm saying is the risk is, well, first of all, if you trade for Giannis, there's absolutely a world where you could just trade him again 2 years down the road if it doesn't work. You see Kevin Durant's entire career. But that would present all its own issues. I'm not saying that's like ideal. I'm just saying, but there is risk involved in draft picks. Let's say, for example, let me just lay out a hypothetical future for you right now. The Spurs do not trade for Giannis. They lose to the Thunder in the conference finals. It's a tough series, but they lose in a 7-game series. The Thunder go to the finals and they win it. Now the Spurs become a team you described as a viable option for a guy like Giannis, where they can't get over the hump. They did get beat. They do have these realized assets. Everyone is a year older. Now, they're still a young team, granted, but like they would be going into an offseason going, look, we just lost to the Thunder. We can't get past them. We do need to do something about this. Now, they draft a guy in 2026. That guy is a bust. That guy isn't what they thought he was going to be. He doesn't pan out. He doesn't get real minutes. Now Giannis goes and signs somewhere else. Everyone's locked up. It's one more year of like, well, we're running back the same roster again. They go lose again. The next year they draft it. Like, there's no guarantee that just because you're young and good now that you remain young and good forever. Wemby is 7'5". He could have a season-ending knee injury at any moment. Any moment. His knees, back, and ankles are absolutely at risk at all times. When you're 7'5", that is just a fact of the nature. By the time he is 28, we have no idea what his career will look like at that size. That is just, unfortunately, that will be. Wemby's game is literally flawless. He has no Achilles heel outside of literally maybe an Achilles heel. Like, truly, the only thing that will derail a Wemby career is injury. And at that size, that is absolutely a possibility. So I suppose my argument here is there is risk involved in drafting players and building a young team and hoping that they become the best team in the league. If your goal is to win championships and be the best team in the league, there is risk involved there in drafting players. So all of this being said, and every point I've brought up here, every question I've asked here, this all was to get back to the idea of, if you have an opportunity to, in my opinion, become the best team in the league right now, if you have the opportunity to go get a tier 1 guy, and by the way, play him next to another tier 2 guy, or sorry, another tier 1 guy. Like, we did our tier list rankings. The only, if the Spurs were to go get Giannis, the only team in the league that would have 2 tier 1 guys on their roster, and they would still have a De'Aaron Fox and a Stephen Castle and whoever else they get back or keep in the trade, like, they would still have the pieces. They would still have Cornette, probably. Like, well, they would still have a 9-man rotation.
Yeah.
Like, they have enough pieces. They would still have a 9-man rotation. And they would have 2 tier 1 guys with the reigning rookie of the year, probably, if they can keep Castle. And, like, in my opinion, I just look at that and I just go, we'll figure out the offensive fit. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out.
Yeah.
But you take this opportunity when it presents itself. That's my argument.
So, first thing I'll say is, if you do go get Giannis, and this is just not a response to everything, more of just like one quick rebuttal on something you said that we hadn't addressed yet.
Sure.
You do shorten your lifespan and ability to retain a lot of your young players, because you got to pay Steph Castle eventually. You're going to have to pay Dylan Harper eventually. Like, De'Aaron Fox will probably sign for less on his next deal because he'll be 30, but I mean, he's still going to probably demand, he probably wants to get locked up long term and something close to like 12 to 15 million a year. It's like, okay, we want to hold on to Giannis, then like, we got to let Castle walk. We got to let Harper walk, most likely in a few years. But that's like, hey, it's a risk. I think that is the biggest risk, is like, you're rolling the dice. But the thing that I just can't get past, like, do I think it could work? Yeah. Do I think it would be crazy? It'd be ridiculous. Would I love to see them two on the court together, playing basketball together? That would be awesome. It would be AD and Boogie on the Pelicans times 10.
Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Yeah. So I'm like, it would be really cool. However, I just think to have the mindset of, wow, we just beat the heavy favorite and reigning champs 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And we're playing the best basketball we've played in close to a decade. Let's make a ton of huge changes. It's like, no. And that would be my thought process. I would have to assume that's the thought process of the GM and ownership as well. Like,
fair enough.
Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Because guess what? Giannis does get traded somewhere else, or he signs somewhere in free agency. There's going to be another guy that is going to be that, just because it's maybe not another tier 1 guy, but another very good player that could come along in terms of trade talks. And also, like I said, you could draft the next guy. The Spurs have historically drafted very, very well. Like, we don't even know what Carter Bryant is yet. Like, he looked incredible in all of these offseason runs. He's great.
Yeah.
And he doesn't touch the floor. Do I think there are a few guys that could be upgraded in the rotation? Yeah, but this is one of those teams where I just personally don't think you need another like big, like high contract guy. It's like probably find a Harrison Barnes replacement eventually. He's good. He's very good. You don't need to, but like Keldon Johnson, maybe Justin Champagnie, like they're serviceable players. Could you use upgrades? Yeah, I would focus more there. But I'm like, right now, I'm like, don't change anything.
No, I hear that. And maybe there is like a world where it is better. Like, well, let's wait, let's draft, let's see what we can get, and then wait for the next guy to become available when it makes more sense, like fit wise or something. I don't know.
It's poor timing more than anything. Cause like I do see your point. I'm like, it would be awesome and they might be unstoppable. Like, I think there is something to be said about that mindset of when you have a chance to get 2 like top 5 NBA players on the same team, you do it. I can see that. But I mean, that's probably what Matt Ishbia was thinking with the Suns when he was like, we're going to go get a big 3. And granted, I know it's not the same types of players. It's old Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Brad Beal. But like, I do think there's something there. It's just like, man, if it was 1 year later that his contract was expiring and he's like, I want to be traded, and the Spurs had gotten to like, maybe they get bounced in the Western Conference semis and they're like, okay, now we know the issue that we need to diagnose and we have a better idea of, will Giannis fix that for us? Because right now you don't know whatever looming issue is, because I think there's a possibility that they get bounced. I also think they could win the finals. But like young team, like they're probably not going to, they will probably not get past the Western Conference finals.
Probably
I'd be
not.
shocked if they got to it. I would not, if they won it, I wouldn't be shocked at the same time though. I'm contradicting myself.
It is. They are in like a really weird position where I am like, I could see them winning the finals, and it wouldn't be surprising. And then in that same breath, being like, but it would be shocking if they like got out of the Western Conference final. Like I don't know how that.
From what I see on the court, I'm like, I wouldn't like this team can win the finals, but what we know about every young team that's good for the first time in forever, they get bounced early. Happened to the Thunder. Happened to the Rockets. Like. Yep. It just happens. Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting bounced early.
Oh baby, you're on a roll, dude.
Am I on Gate Watch for Segway? Am I on Segway Watch? We haven't brought up Gate Watch in a while.
We need to get back to Gate Watch.
We do have to get back to Gate Watch.
Buzelis, Gate Watch.
Chiefs.
I think we said that.
The Chiefs were bounced. Oh, sorry, you were talking about Gate Watch still. I was going on
Xavier Worthy
getting
Gate
bounced.
Watch.
True.
Yeah.
I was talking about speaking of getting bounced early. And I was going to highlight the Chiefs as one of our underachieving teams.
Yes. You got some underachievers and overachievers.
And I would like to.
And I got a wedgie I need to fix.
You have a wedgie you need to fix. On camera, please.
Yeah, I muted myself. You know what? Just because you said that.
That was funny. That would be funny if he muted himself and then thought that he turned the camera off and then stood up and undid the wedgie on camera. That I would have liked. Personally, I would have been a big fan of that.
Yeah, but you would like that. Oh my gosh, these shorts I'm wearing are just like, they always end up in my ass crack.
Fuck, let me see. Or what's up?
For all our listeners, Connor and I just made sexual faces to each other.
We just made sweet eye sex towards
we've
each other.
We've been getting some listens lately.
Oh yeah?
So we dipped down to we had 70 listeners in the last 30 days. Maybe it's because Spotify wouldn't post our podcast for
that's probably part of it.
20 days. But in the last 30 days, we were back into the triple digits. We got like 120 something past 30 days. Pretty solid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else hard?
Anyone else fully
erect?
It's better than anything I had.
Or sopping wet for our female listeners.
Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't want to exclude them.
Yeah, I don't want to exclude anybody.
Can't talk about boners and not talk about the female anatomy as well.
You can say boner, but you can't say like anything about like a.
It feels weird coming out of my mouth.
Like you couldn't have said like we can talk about boners, we can't talk about sopping wet snatch or something like that. You don't want to do one of those. I'll say it.
I'll do the accent, but I won't do that.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's where you draw the line. Is you'll do You'll do an insensitive accent, but
Sorry, I
you won't
respect
just
women, dude. Sorry, I love
say
women.
a
I respect
slang
them.
word for. You'll say female genitalia, but you come on, man. Textbook white guy. Textbook hyper religious white guy, dude. Couldn't be more usual suspect
Racism?
on that one.
Fine. Womanhood?
Yeah.
Not gonna touch it.
My girlfriend just texted me from the other room and was like, yo.
See, that's the text I'm trying to avoid, my friend.
Hey, she
Method
knows what
to
she
the
signed
madness.
up for. She knows what she signed up for, unfortunately. Gooch said I would listen, but I hate Spotify as an Apple Music listener.
Gooch,
yeah, true. Do we post on Apple Podcasts?
We should. I just need to set it up. It's like an annoying process.
I mean, hey, I can't say a word about it because I have no idea how to do any of that. Like that's fully I just allowed that to be.
I need
your
to set up
thing,
the RSS feed, Connor.
Dang it. The RSS feed. How could you?
I will. You know what? I will. I'm going to give it. I'm not going to say it's going to happen because Spotify is so terrible. YouTube's been up, by the way, Gooch. You just asked. But I will say that I'm going to try to hook up the RSS feed, but it will. If it doesn't happen this week, it will not be of my own lack of volition.
Hey, you're good, man.
Yeah.
You take your time. Hey.
As I said volition, I was like, Connor's going to make fun of me for this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's another vocab word, volition. Volition. Am I saying that right? Volition?
Volition, yeah. I may or may not have used that correctly.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I said lack of volition, but volition might just be like responsibility. It will not be but a lack of that doesn't make sense. Anyways, underachievers. So we just kind of took a look through the standings, and it's been a year of parity in the NFL. I think. Excuse me, Morty. Oh, Morty. I think a lot of people were asking or really hoping, just like it's time to see something different. I want to see someone else in the Super Bowl that's not named the Kansas City Chiefs. As far as, oh my gosh, why is this all just coming up? I haven't even drank any liquid recently.
Can't stop burping, Morty. Morty, I can't stop burping.
The Chiefs missed the playoffs, Morty.
Geez, Rick. Oh, gosh.
That's a good Morty.
Oh, man, the Chiefs missed the Super Bowl again, Rick.
Taylor Swift is going to cast a spell on the entire country.
Geez, Rick. It's Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl again.
Geez. Well, it looks like it's going to be Travis Kelce leading the Pro Bowl in votes.
I had to really restrain my vocal cords to do that.
Yeah, it's tough. The Rick is tough. I can't. You're great at impressions.
Thanks.
By the way, we got a definition of volition here. Volition, the faculty or power of using one's will. So I don't think it was good for me to say lack of. I think I should have said it will not be of my own volition if it doesn't happen.
Right, lack of. You sort of.
It doesn't
sort of
change.
negative.
Yeah, it was.
Double negative there.
I added too much context.
Well, I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah, everyone was wondering.
Yeah,
you guys can shut up in the chat now about dictionary talk.
All the people,
a couple of Merriam-Websters in here. Anyways, we got to talk about some sports or something.
Why not?
So I think we go through the list of underachievers. We start with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's just so clear and obvious that it was a disappointment of a season. We've talked about them sort of ad nauseum, just like that. They didn't play very well this year. They struggled to score, which for when you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, you're like, we're good. But then we talked about the protection. The O-line wasn't quite the same. The run game is a huge topic of conversation.
Well, and to be fair, full hands up, I was very wrong about the Chiefs. I was adamant. I was like, they're the Chiefs. I don't want to see them win the Super Bowl, but like, they're the Chiefs. They're gonna find a way into the playoff. Like, I thought certainly this was a safe bet. I thought I was like having the read where it was like, yeah, that's just what the Chiefs do, and I was wrong. They didn't have the juice this year, and I mean, now granted, I do think they'll come back better next year. Like, I think it'd be hard pressed that we find a Chiefs team that misses the playoffs twice. Like that seems unlikely to me, but who knows? I suppose.
I was saying they're going to miss the playoffs, not because I believed it, but I just wanted it to happen.
I was like,
I'm going to say this enough until it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Just pure willpower and hatred.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how far it'll go.
And to be fair, like, it's not like they were a bad football team. Like, they just had, they couldn't move the ball. They couldn't extend drives. The defense was great. Mahomes would make enough plays to keep them in games more often than not. And they just, it just goes to show like how crazy of a decision it was to not give up a 3rd round pick for Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Is he in a contract year?
I think so. I don't know.
I guess they would have had to pay him right away, but you do lock in your running back for the next 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, or you don't pay him. You just rent him for half a season and see if you can get to the playoff. Like
a 3rd round pick for a rental. Though I guess they're like, well, we'll just be bad this year and we'll get a better pick and maybe we'll draft a running back. I'll probably draft.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's
they might need to draft some offensive linemen too.
They probably will, to be honest.
Because like, I don't know what happened. Like, is Pacheco bad now, or is he hurt? Like he was a very good running back a year ago. Like he was. I'm not gonna say he was great. He was very good.
I don't even know if I put him in the very good category.
Really? I mean, what did his numbers look like last year?
I mean, he put up fine numbers. Like his numbers are probably okay, but like honestly, like he's just one of those running backs where like he was more a product of being in an offense that was like moving and the team was winning games and the O-line was pushing. Like he's just not a running back that has great vision and great breakaway speed. He's just kind of a dog that fights for extra yards, but he doesn't really have like one super trait of any kind.
I guess he would be a great guy in like a dual running back, like 1-2 punch system.
I would honestly, I would say that Pacheco is mostly just a backup running back that like you stick behind a guy who's like a real bell cow. Like okay, I'll put it this way. If Tyler Algier ends up leaving the Falcons because he could probably be an RB1 somewhere, Pacheco would be a good running back to have like behind Bijan, to be like, yeah, it's 2nd and 2, and we don't want to have Bijan run his head into a lineman, so we're just going to throw Pacheco in there to go get his 2 yards. Like that's the type of guy I think Pacheco is. Like I think we've seen the best of him. To be honest with you.
I pulled up his numbers too, and I mean, last year is when he got hurt and he went out.
Yeah.
So 2023, he carried the ball 200 times for 935 yards. So solid.
See, like that's what I mean. It's like he had some fine seasons of production, and they got a lot out of him for like a 7th round pick. Don't get me wrong, but he's never 1,000. I don't think he is a 1,000-yard rusher.
I think I'm just a sucker for a guy that just pumps his legs and falls forward. Just a little blue collar. You know,
I like Pacheco as like
I know. I think
go.
That's what happened in my head of like Pacheco's was good. Maybe this is just an O-line thing, but that's a good point, Gooch. He said in the chat they waited to pay Pacheco to see how this season would be. I'm like, yeah, smart. Because if a guy rushes, if a guy is 24 years old and he runs for around 1,000 yards, he might get paid. You never know. So I think it was the right move. I think he's still like, maybe you just draft Breece Hall and not draft, you trade for Breece Hall, but maybe they're like, yeah, we were bad. We didn't make the playoffs. It's a shame that Mahomes is going to miss probably like the first 6 weeks of the season next year, at least. I would assume. I know quarterbacks ACL, maybe I'd say week 6, a comeback before week 6 would be surprising, but now you can go like, you're going to have a decent pick, like a top 15 pick. And you can go draft a guy too. And like, talking about window, a position you don't want to have to pay for is a running back for sure. So, but anyways,
no, the next underachiever on our list here is the Green Bay Packers.
And this doesn't mean they were bad to me. And you can disagree with any of these because you know, I think I put together this underachiever side at least. But like if you disagree, you think someone belongs, it doesn't, please let me know.
Well, no, and I think something to look at too when you're talking about who's underachieving is like look at their lines before the season or overachieving as well. So like Vegas's line for the Packers was 9.5 wins. So if the Packers win one more game, they would be not overachieving, but they would essentially be hitting their line. I think my only
is this pre-Micah trade or post-Micah trade that the line was
Well,
set?
it was just to start the year. That was just to start the year. Going into 2025, they were, or the 2025 season, they were 9.5 wins. I think my only nuance here is I don't know if I'd even consider the Packers overachieving or underachieving, or if I would just consider like, yeah, they just kind of did what we thought they were going to do, in my opinion. Because
win some games they weren't supposed to, lose a lot they weren't supposed to as well. Yeah,
that's my thing with people keep giving me hate for this Jordan Love take that I had. I don't dislike Jordan Love. I think he's a fine quarterback. I just don't think he's a guy that I really trust to take you over the hump and get you to a Super Bowl. That's my take with Jordan Love. I think I made the joke of like Jordan Love is Kirk Cousins because it's like you'll have some games where he goes out and throws for like 400 yards and he's awesome. And then he'll have some games where he just like is a knucklehead and throws like 3 interceptions and you have no idea what's going on.
I like this. I don't think he's a team elevator. I would use that term. I don't think he's going to elevate your team.
Like if you put a really, really, really good team around him, he's probably capable enough to like get you, to a conference final or whatever. Like he can maybe get you out of the first round or whatever, but my or not the first round, but whatever they call it. My thing with him is just, and by the way, Kirk Cousins is like top 20 all time in passing yards and like top 20 all time in total touchdowns.
I think people think you were saying that he's Kirk Cousins now. It's like,
I wasn't saying like current. No, I was just saying like, he's a guy that like he can go be a good quarterback and get you above 500 and win you football games. I'm just saying like, and it was funny too, because like I think one of the takes I had is we put him on the Goffometer that I've had, and then Goff had a meltdown to end the season here and had like 6 turnovers, and I was like, fuck, the Goffometer is broken. It's the wrong guy now. Ironically, maybe Jordan Love is the new Goffometer.
Maybe it's the Loveometer.
Maybe it's the Loveometer.
And I mean, I think the season would have been different if Tucker Kraft doesn't get hurt. Like I think the offense would have been a bit better enough to win them a few more games, and then Micah gets hurt, and like, okay, now it's all about shit.
Now okay, let's say hypothetically then fully healthy. I think the Packers probably have 11 wins this year. Gooch just said having a room of wide receiver 3s isn't helping, and that's another thing is like they don't really have a wide receiver 1. Kraft was like their best receiving option. So this is again like. The point I'm trying to make here is like I don't think the Packers are a bad team, like you said. I don't even know if underachieving is the right term, but like fully healthy, they could have been more. I think they do need to retool that defense. They need to find Mike is a great addition, but they need to find something with.
I think secondary wise, they need a little help.
The linebackers in the secondary could use some help, and then they do need a true wide receiver 1, and that's like. Fixing those problems isn't like that's just like a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's fair. You've convinced me. Like I think I just thought they were better than they were. I think they had a hot start, I believe.
They started very hot, and I think that's why people would see them as an underachiever. But I think them starting that hot was us going, whoa, the Packers are overachieving. Yeah, and I think they just kind of came back down to earth,
and that makes me want to look at their schedule. But while I do that, speaking of teams that were plagued by injuries, the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Man. And this is another one where you're like, I know they were hurt for a while and Bucky Irving was awesome. And then he was just out for forever. But like they kind of got everyone back and they kind of they sucked. And I don't know what's up with them. I need someone who understands football to tell me what was going on essentially.
Right. Yeah, I think part of it is like Baker isn't fully healthy. I think he's playing through some injury right now.
We've talked about this too,
and we've talked about that. Obviously, Mike Evans goes down, and that's a huge blow to a team. And then Bucky's out.
Do they have everyone back now, or did Evans go out again?
Everyone is healthy now.
But healthy too. It's like are
but it's
they
like
healthy?
Then you're like. But it's also, and football's a different sport. Like returning from an injury in the NBA is a little bit different. Like you can get back into the swing over a couple games and you've got some games to get back. Football is like, if you're coming back in week 10, it's hard to get up to speed. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to jump right back into game action like that in football. And then, Gooch added some nuance here. The Buccaneers also lost their offensive coordinator, who was phenomenal.
Well, I'm just even talking about how they looked in the first 4 games to what we saw after that. Because what were they, 5-0 or 4-0?
Yeah, but then when did Mike Evans go down? Because that was a huge blow
around that time. And Bucky Irving went out around that time too. But they still looked good with White. What was it, Rashad White?
Rashad White and Sean Tucker were serviceable, yes. But they're not Bucky, and Bucky's an incredibly talented running back. That kid is special. I'm a huge fan of him. Man, I just think it's one of those things. They just had a rough season. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a good team, just had a rough season, couldn't find the pieces. By the way, Egbuka, people were really high on him because he went nuclear. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I think Egbuka serves best as like a wide receiver 2 security blanket possession guy. This is not an insult. Do not take this as an insult. I think not that you would be insulted by this, but Egbuka believers.
Dude, what the hell?
Egbuka believers, please do not take this as an insult. I think he's sort of like a Jacoby Myers. Is he somewhere like Jacoby Myers to
a little more of a deep
Cooper
ball
Kupp?
threat, but
Jacoby Myers to Cooper Kupp level guy, right? Like in terms of what his best skill set is and what he gives you, clean route runner, secure hands. That is where he should be as like your guy. But like he shouldn't be a guy where it's like, oh, I'm going to throw him a couple go balls and a couple things where it's like go up and catch a ball over somebody. Like honestly, you know who the Bucs should look at as like their Mike Evans, Chris Godwin replacement here as they like figure all this stuff out? First of all, I want to say Jalen McMillan, good receiver, slept on receiver. People sleep on him. Jalen McMillan is a good receiver.
Wait, where is he?
He's like the wide receiver 3 for the Bucs, and he was hurt with a neck injury all year. He went nuclear last year, like in the fantasy playoffs. Everyone loved. I'm a big fan of his. I think that it's not that he'd be a great complement to what I'm talking about right here. Pickens, if the Cowboys can't pay Pickens because they are already paying CD, like if Pickens becomes a free agent, which is a possibility,
it is Pickens a very very likely thing.
The perfect counterpart for an Egbuka guy. You know what I mean? Like that's the exact play style difference there.
By the way, sorry, all-time stream moment. We have Gooch conversing with the like cheap viewers streamboot.com bot.
God, if you're a listener, you've got to join a live stream. We have a blast in here.
We have a good time. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
No. So anyway, that's kind of all we need to say about like the Bucs and all this. I couldn't like dissect from an X's and O's standpoint what went wrong with them, but I do think it just losing their offensive coordinator and then dealing with that many injuries. I actually, not to disagree with you again here, I honestly wouldn't even call it underachieving for the Bucs. I would call it just a really rough season that was sort of out of their control.
Yeah, and you know the definition of underachieving, like what is that? Where are we referencing from? And I was kind of thinking like before the season started for some of these, but also like I included the Bucs who didn't really have the highest of expectations, but they started off playing really well. They looked really good. I looked at the Packers schedule. They really didn't start that well. They beat the Lions, which is good win. They beat the Commanders, which at the time you're probably thinking good win. And then they lost to the Browns and tied the Cowboys. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Yeah. Maybe I'm just a big dumb idiot. Maybe I should just end the stream, end the show.
Yeah, so basically you're wrong about everything and I'm right, and Giannis should go to the Spurs. I'm just kidding.
That hill I don't know if I'm going to die on that hill either. But talking about teams that lost their offensive coordinator and now look very different, the Detroit Lions may be the most disappointing team of this year for America, because I think everyone still wants the Lions to be good, aside from NFC North fans.
I think
everyone's like
Dan Campbell is like America's sweetheart in the NFL. You've got like Gibbs is so electric and fun, and Monty and him had this fun thing, and J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown are
awesome. And even I feel like everyone likes Goff too.
Goff has sort of this, like, the Rams kind of gave up on him, and it's like, wait, he's actually still pretty good. Like, yeah, they definitely do have some like America's team to them. Ironically, they started losing right after Amon-Ra did the Trump dance in the end zone. I'm not saying it's like, I'm just saying there could be something there, you know? Maybe that's a win for the Libs.
Maybe if you want to have success on the football field, you need to think in a liberal way.
Yes, right. Yes,
hey,
share the wealth.
Hey, look, we are not conspiracy theorists. We're just connecting dots.
We're simply connecting dots here, per usual. No, the Lions. I think the Lions' struggles are, ironically, we're talking about two teams now back to back that lost a really good offensive coordinator, and those offensive coordinators went on to become great head coaches that are now better than them, essentially. The Lions are so tough because it's like, what do you do now? What do you? I heard that. That sounds.
You heard that one?
Yeah, I heard that.
It came through. Wow.
Yeah, they came through.
Yeah. For listeners, I just broke my own neck.
I'm sure they heard. I think they could hear. I think you could hear a little crack. The Lions are just in such a tricky situation because it's like the offense is good. You need some offensive line help, but you can't really give up on Goff. No one's going to take that contract.
Yeah, who's the guy they brought back like out of retirement?
Like
week 14.
Name, but they couldn't play him because they found out his hamstring was toast.
Yeah, which is so funny that you're just like, he's just going through everyday life, and they're like, yeah, I think I still got some left. I mean, he came back and like, yeah, you're actually out for the season immediately. Like before you even put cleats on, you're actually just dealing with an injury that would sideline anyone for the entire season. Just every day.
So tough. Yeah. But yeah, so it just is tough because it's like, really what they need to do is probably trade JMO.
Frank Ragnow. Thank you.
Ragnow, thank you. Yes. What they probably need to do is find a trade for JMO and go get
thank you,
like
Gooch,
some
actually.
defense.
I feel like that looked like I claimed it.
Yeah. Someone in stream said
this has been like interrupting ASMR. I feel like I've interrupted you a lot this episode.
That's funny. I like that. I like interrupting ASMR. That's good. We should do more of that. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, I want to do it too. Yeah.
Good. Yes, layup. I gave you a bounce pass into the low block, and you laid a little jelly roll. But the everything I'm trying to get at with the Lions here is like, you can't really give up on Goff because no one wants that contract at his age, and he's also like, he is winning you football games. Like, he's still a serviceable quarterback. You just got to find a way to win a big game and get somewhere in the playoffs. Like, that's the problem. So I don't know. I don't know what they do here. I don't know what the fix is, but it's going to be interesting to watch because like something's got to happen. Something has to happen because they can't get over the hump.
Yeah, I think they probably go a little aggressive in free agency, just meat and potatoes wise. Like, I think you look at quarterback, skill positions, and edge rusher, which are the sexy positions, and in free agency, it's like, no, you go everything other than those, and then maybe in the draft you beef up a little bit. Like maybe it's time for like someone on the other side of Hutchinson, like someone that could be dynamic early in the draft, or a lockdown corner, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to act like I'm an expert here in building a roster, but it seems like they kind of have everything else locked up, and all the things I did mention. But I don't think you change anything. Speaking of another team that I don't think you need to make a ton of changes with, unless you had something else you wanted to get out about the Lions.
Nope, I'm done. I'm good.
The Commanders. This feels like a season from hell with the Commanders. Obviously Jaden getting hurt early sucks, but the Commanders are doing right now with the Patriots, or the Commanders are dealing with what I think the Patriots will deal with next year, which is like, oh wait, we have to play like some good teams actually. Like, wait, we have to play teams that have won more games than they've lost. Wait.
You love to take shots at my sweet Prince Drake May.
Are you like a big Drake May guy now?
Yes, I love Drake May. I'm
Since
such a
when?
believer. I've always since he came into the league, I was a believer. I like him.
I don't know. I think you're doing this to spite me.
I'm not. I would never.
Drake May is, I mean, I think I said this off stream, but I have 3 reasons to strongly dislike Drake May.
Yes.
Went to North Carolina. I'm an NC State fan. He plays for the Patriots. I'm a Bills fan. And his freaking brother hit a shot in the tournament that lost me $2,000. Well, not lost me, but took away the opportunity for me to get that money.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have reason to hate him. I'm just saying the kid's a baller. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, and he sucks, and he's stupid. I don't like him. And he hasn't played. He's beaten one team over 500, and then he lost to them afterwards.
Oh my God!
He lost to the worst team in the NFL, the Raiders.
He's going to win the MVP. He's going
to win the MVP for playing Sister Mary's School of the Deaf and Blind 15 out of 17 weeks.
Yeah, and you know what? He deserves it. He did what he was supposed to do. He won football games.
I almost said something crazy. I'm not going to say it.
I saw it loading, and I saw you make the decision not to do it. I respect that.
Let's back myself into a big corner.
No,
very big corner.
I could absolutely see the Patriots meeting reality a little bit next season, but I am saying I think that Drake May is good enough to overcome that. I just think he will rise to the occasion. I agree with you. The Commanders are. I suppose there should be like a second category here that's like disappointing versus underachieving. And I would put Commanders in that too because of all the injuries. I feel like for an underachiever, in my opinion, like Ravens, underachievers in my opinion.
Didn't I have the Ravens on there?
Now I don't think you did. Now they did deal with some injuries.
That was like the first team I thought of.
Yeah, like they did deal with some injuries, like don't get me wrong. But I would say that's a team that feels like an underachiever to me.
For sure. I really thought I had them on there.
No, that's okay. Honestly, the Cowboys, to have an offense that good, and for your defense to let you down
their defense
that badly.
Is horrible. That's the worst defense in the NFL.
Absolutely. That's an underachiever.
Maybe the best offense. They're such an interesting team because this might be the first time we've seen the best offense in the NFL and the worst defense in the NFL on the same team.
Yeah, really interesting. And it goes to show you how much defense matters because they're under 500. And that's what I mean. If you have the best offense in the NFL, you should be over 500 at least. Or are they one game over 500? No, they're 7 and 8.
No, they're 7 and 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
The Dolphins I think we all knew were going to be ass, so I don't really know if I'd consider them an underachiever. The Bengals were hurt. So my two submissions for underachiever are going to be Ravens, Cowboys, and honestly, sneaky underachiever, the Falcons. There's a world where maybe they just start Kirk,
second year
maybe
QB. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That defense should have been a little bit better. They've got some
I thought
weapons.
They were really good. I just thought the offense was just so on and off.
Well, the defense is good, but like it just should have been. It could have been even better. I think, in my opinion. I don't know. But the defense is very good.
Did not show up every single week, but when they did, it was like, it looked like Houston. Honestly, it looked like Houston. By the way, Cowboys #1 offense in the NFL, third to last in the league for defense. So I was very close.
Yeah.
And the 2 teams below them are the Commanders and the Bengals.
Yeah. So that being said, it's like, come on, man. Like that's it's not like that's why I wouldn't say the Dolphins are underachievers, because I think we went into the year like, they're kind of going to suck. They just weren't that good. Tyreek got hurt fast in the early season.
No,
it was just
I don't think anyone thought that the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins' peak is losing in the first round of the playoffs in this current era of who they are. Yeah.
I think they're probably blow it up candidates, but they just got to find the right deals for it. It's going to be interesting.
Well, we saw some news about it was the Dolphins PR team leaked. I think they put it out there to show we're actually kind of done with this. They're like, we actually offered 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow.
Whoa.
When he got drafted. It was something crazy.
Holy cow.
I said 5. It might have been 3 or 4, but they were we actually wanted Joe more than Tua. We would have rather had him. Because Tua took them a hot second to be like, all right, Fitzpatrick, we're done with you. We're going to go with Tua because Fitzpatrick was playing so incredibly well. That was an awesome time in football, by the way.
It was fun. And like, gosh, the other thing too is like Tua was playing well for like that guy was electric before the injuries. Like those concussions really did like derail a lot of his career. I'm not saying he was like going to be the answer. And
I think he was good. He was good, not great. I would put him below the Goffometer. I put him on the underside.
Yeah, but there was some flashes of like that offense being like, like sorry, it might have been really loud in the.
It was loud, but it was just crisp.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think Brian Flores hated Tua, by the way. I think he hated Tua.
100%. Okay, well, I think we should move into the overachievers here to wrap up the show. Number one on the list, and I think
I didn't do this in order.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of what the best order would be here. The most overachievers, I think, in everyone's opinion, is Jags Bears.
Seahawks.
Those are probably
Seahawks are the 1 seed. I think people expected them to be good, but I would have seen like
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're the Seahawks, really? Did you expect them to be the like? I saw them as like they're like if they're a wild card team this year, that'll be it. I was like, if they win the division, I'll be very impressed. To be the 1 seed in the NFC.
Okay, well, their line going into the year was 8.5, so they've definitely overachieved. I guess I don't know. I just was like, I'm a big JSN guy.
That's fair. And hey, no matter what the line was, if you thought they were going to be good and they didn't overachieve that much in your eyes, then you're just a smart guy.
No, they definitely overachieved. But I'm saying, I guess the point I was trying to make was was less surprising to me.
Bears 1-1 to me.
See, Jags is 1-1 to me.
Really?
Dude, that is a poverty franchise.
Yeah, but we've seen like flashes of like, oh, Trevor Lawrence actually looks pretty solid this year, and I mean, I guess, it's surprising, but to me, like the Bears being an offensive juggernaut after being one of the worst offensive teams in the league last year, the year before that, like, and, not to say that it holds that much of a of like a, I guess, any sort of sway in the situation. Like the Jags did go to conference championship like 5 years ago, but it doesn't weigh too much into this.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm like the Bears. It just feels bigger because they've been so bad for so long.
But we can agree that like 1-1 and 1-2 would be Jags Bears, right? Like,
yep.
The most surprising thing is this Jags team turning it around after last season. Like, I think that would be.
Oh no, I would say the Bears is 1-1 and then the Jags are 1-2. Like 1-A.
I just mean like we can agree those are the top two.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah. And I mean, I think the Seahawks are right under there.
Okay.
For me, and the Texans feel that way a little bit too, just because
Texans are the third one for me.
Okay, I would say. I mean, if the Texans were like the 1 seed, then that'd be one thing. But I mean, I don't know. The Seahawks being the 1 seed to me is like, that's really impressive, especially in the division that they play in, the best division in football. To come out of there as the 1 seed, that blows my mind. But I mean, dude, the Texans, like, I think especially they bump up the list for me because they are very good right now. They're playing their best football and they started 0-3.
Yeah.
And they look bad.
That's true.
Yeah. So like that even puts the nail on the coffin just that much more of like, this is what you're going to be this year. And then they're like, hell no. But
I'm a big fan. I hope they take a running back in this next draft to like sort of pair with Woody Marks and then get some O-line help.
Big physical boy.
Exciting. That seems exciting. The next one I think is the Colts, who would have been higher had they have continued playing how they were playing. You know what I mean? Like, I think the fall off with the injuries and all hurt them. And like, now granted, they still overachieved. They definitely still overachieved, even given their current record. Of what is their current record? They're like 8-8. I mean, I think everyone thought they were going to be like a losing football team. So the fact that when they started the year, they were like Super Bowl contenders in people's eyes, they were like the favorites.
They're 7-1, right?
Still, yeah, and they're still 500. Like the injuries really do suck. Like that really is a brutal nail in the coffin. But nevertheless, they were overachieving for part of the season.
1,000%. Another one that I think this one would bump up my list, maybe past the Texans, is I think the Patriots are way better than anyone thought they would be. And granted,
definitely
they haven't really played, and we don't really know what this team looks like until we see them in the playoffs. I think everyone can agree with that. Can we meet there?
Yeah.
Would you say this is a juggernaut of a football team?
No. I want to see them in the playoffs, but only because we haven't seen Drake May in the playoffs yet. So yes, I want to see them in the playoffs. Yes.
Gosh, I hope they get you know what I think they're who I think they're going to get, and I think they're going to lose.
Who's that?
Chargers.
Oh, that'd be a good game. I like Herbo too. I'm really high on Herbo too.
The number one hypothetical QB.
Yeah.
Against and by the number one hypothetical QB this year.
Totally warranted. Totally warranted.
Oh yeah.
It's one. He is the ultimate version of like all the talent and tools in the world. Supporting cast has let him down every year.
Why is it so hard to find like what the playoff matchups are going to be?
I know. Just lay it out for us. Have like a moving. Make a bracket. And just have it move.
Oh, wait, hold on. Playoff bracket.
I saw one the other day. I did see one the other day. As you're pulling that up, I want to say kudos. The last two teams here that I really want to give props to, the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. So the Denver Broncos line, I want to look this up, but I think it was pretty low. What was it? Oops.
It had to be like 4 wins.
Yeah, I think it was like Oh, I don't know. Anyway, maybe it was higher. I don't know. I just think this defense continuing to be a juggernaut. Sean Payton coaching this team into like winning some big games. Bo Nix, kind of a rocky season, but like has shown up.
Oh, I think you're talking about the Panthers. That's why I said 4 or 5.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about the Broncos. I was going to finish on the Panthers. Yeah.
no, I mean the Broncos. They were in the playoffs last year, but they lost, and I think people expected them to be good and compete for the division, but they just took it over.
And honestly, like, dude, they might be.
They smacked the Chiefs too.
I don't know. Yeah, they bullied the Chiefs, and like, I don't know, man. I think they might be my favorites to get to. I don't know. They might be the best team in the AFC, in my opinion.
You think so?
I mean, we'll have to see. The other thing is like you still have to like someone's going to have to beat Josh Allen in the playoffs, which is just like not easy ever.
Yeah. I found it. I found it, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'll let you finish that thought. Then
No, I was going to say, but like, if there's a team that I feel like right now has the tools to do it, it does feel like it's Denver. Because it's like you think the Jags are going to get to a Super Bowl? I just don't see it. I think the Texans are 1 year away from being a contender. Patriots, like you said, we have to kind of see them in the playoffs, which is fair. I will allow for that. The other real team is like the Bills, and I just don't know if Josh Allen has the weapons to get the ball moving against that Denver defense.
Yeah.
But what did you find?
I'll say this real quick. I really don't have I don't really have expectations for the Bills in the playoffs this year. I'm like, if we win a game, cool.
Yeah.
Like this is just last year was a year where I was like, I think this team could win it. I think this team could win it all. This year, not so much.
No.
Just, I mean, I have faith in Josh Allen's ability to blow my expectations out of the water because he does it on a regular basis. But
sure,
this team as a whole, I do not believe in what we have. But anyways, right now the Patriots would play the Bills, and I think this last game, if the Chargers lose and we win, we would play Jacksonville, and the Chargers would play the Patriots. But as of right now, if nothing changes, it is a Patriots-Bills wild card matchup in the first round.
That would be so fun for us. And what sucks is the Bills will win that game, and it's just going to be such a victory lap for you. and I'm gonna have to sit here and listen to you tell me about Drake May not playing teams over 500 for the 12th
This is high
time.
risk, high reward. That will happen if the Bills play that game and they win. I will do that, and I will say he never stood a chance.
Right,
but I could also see. I mean, like, dude, when we lost to the Patriots, we looked helpless. Like, it was bad, and I mean, it just comes down to we couldn't stop the run, and they stopped the run. They're a good football team. The Patriots are a good football team.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're a contender truly, because the winner of that game plays Denver, and no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Would they? Does the winner of the 2-7? I don't know if the winner of the 2-7. I think it'd be the winner of the 3-6.
It's like lowest seed plays highest seed in the next round. So whoever the lowest seed is moves. Yeah.
So yeah, we would play Denver. They would play either winner of Jacksonville Chargers or Pittsburgh Houston. If Pittsburgh wins. But yeah, hey.
Yeah, I the last overachiever I just wanted it. We didn't really like I said it, but the Panthers being above 500 right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. So cool for them.
Stun on them hoes, man. Go stun on them.
If you gave me a line at like 4 wins on the season, I probably would have taken the under.
So I wanted to point this out real quick. A lot of non-ball knowers are saying that, it's Panthers Bucks week 18, very consequential game. Whoever wins that game goes to the playoffs. If Atlanta wins next week because they beat your Rams, if they win week 18, then the Panthers go regardless.
Oh.
So it's something where if 3 teams are tied, I believe, it goes to, like, you throw out individuals and go to common opponents, something like that. All I know is that I listened to another podcast and they said if the Falcons, it was from last week before this weekend, they said if the Falcons run the table, then the Panthers get in no matter what. No matter what happens in that game. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
I'm rooting for the Falcons then. I want to see the Panthers.
I want to see the Panthers in more than I want to see the Bucks. I love Baker.
I want to see the Panthers go upset somebody in a wild card game or something.
Yeah.
Like,
also heard a stat in the game at noon on Sunday. And yes, it was at noon, not 10 a.m. But they said no one has more game-winning drives in the past 2 years than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Nuts. I'm rooting for him, man. I want him to be good.
Me too. I want him to be good. I really do want him to be good.
Yeah.
I do this thing in football where I want a guy to be way better than he is, and I will change my opinion. I'm like, he is good.
Welcome to being a fan of football. Everyone does that in football. Everyone just finds a guy. They're like, I like that guy. He's cool.
But I avoid that in basketball. In basketball, I'm able to look through the objective lens more so than not. But
hell yeah. Well, hey, we are at the approaching the 2-hour mark here. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the live stream and coming and chatting with us. We love you dearly. Thank you to everybody for listening on Spotify or on YouTube or watching on YouTube or however you're consuming this.
Or Apple Podcasts, if it ends up there this week.
If that gets set up, sure. Thank you to the, whatever it is, 18 to 27 people that will listen to this across all posts. We appreciate you. Please give Slim Dookie here a follow at Slim Dookie Hoops. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's different on TikTok and Instagram. I should probably change that.
What is it? Plug it?
It's Slim Dookie 1, TikTok, Slim Dookie. You know what? Never mind. I'll see you guys later. No, never mind. You don't get. Yeah, it doesn't happen now.
Yeah, you don't get to plug it anymore. So I will be at Willie Goat on my channels. That's the same on both. And we got a good crotch shot there from Dookie. That was incredible.
Finish the fucking episode, dude. I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh no!
I told you they wedgie me. I'm gonna end it all. I'm gonna end it all right after we end this.
The stammering stumble through your own at, and then just a massive crotch shot.
Just a rough. rough end to things here, man. Golly. All right, for everyone that listened, thank you so much. All right, episode's over. Bye, everyone.
Episode over. I'll put him out of his misery. See you, everybody.